Hi guys, so I've gotten requests in regards to stormblood crafting when you're starting out. So you're a level 60 crafter, you have ironworks, maxed out CP at 426, and you're trying to start out into stormblood, crafting things like copper nickel nuggets, whatever have you. And you're trying to high quality your base materials. First off, don't worry too much about that. Try and at least complete the synth, so that way you end up with a normal quality material. This will give you EXP, as well as the material needed to create 80 durability items. Typically your leave turn-ins are going to be 80 durability, at least until you get to around 64. And at that point you'll have other abilities to help you increase quality in any ways. What I'm going to show you specifically is two different sets of macros. One is in case you need more progress. One is if you don't need the additional progress and you need a little bit more quality. So keep in mind that I'm not guaranteeing you're going to high quality out of this. This is legitimately just the best rotation that I've found to try and get there. I use these macros basically all the way to level 70 for creating things. So as you can see, I've got one for each of my different kinds of brands. And then I've got a couple where I had to use additional brands for progress. I'm going to show you how this works specifically with two different lumbers, Persimmon and Zelkova. I don't require the additional brand for Persimmon. I do need, like, I think 40 progress to finish the Zelkova. So I'll explain to you why I chose what I did as I'm crafting it. So let's go ahead and try a persimmon log into lumber. So the cross-class skills you're going to need for this are going to be muscle memory, comfort zone, steady hand 2, manipulation, hasty touch if you're using it, and then you're also going to need ingenuity 2 and Bayergot's blessing. If for whatever reason you're using a craft that doesn't have a brand, specifically culinarian, I'm going to point out, doesn't have a brand, you can actually cross-class those over. I actually did that for leveling culinarian. I did it completely through collectibles, and if you need more details on that, I can give you a little bit of help on what I did for that. So for this, we're going to go ahead and execute. So muscle memory, 6 CP, gives you 33 progress right at the start. I chose manipulation to cut 4 CP off of things instead of using Master's Mend. Basically, it negates durability loss for 3 of the touches that I use. The way I've got these macros set up is so that precise touch will trigger before basic touch if it's available. So if it's not available, it's not going to use it. It'll just go back to my normal touch. So as you can see, we're waiting for the next one, so let's go ahead and execute. And if you see cannot execute it this time, don't freak out. You want to look for errors in your log if it's specific to an ability, because then it'll display either this isn't available or something was not a valid action. That means you need to fix your macro. You can do this freehand. More than welcome to try. I did this as a macro, obviously, for showing and explaining. So I high quality'd that. I got fairly high up in there. The more good conditions you get to get precise touches, the better. If you have lower CP, you can replace any basic touch with a hasty touch. So just keep in mind, I did the calculations at 900 for control and craftsmanship to try to lowball that, and then about 478 CP. So you can replace any of these basic touches with a hasty touch, but I did slip in 2 precise touches, and with a third I definitely would have high quality'd that no matter what. So just to kind of give you an overview of how that looks and everything. This was me playing around with how to finish off progress. I recommend using careful synthesis versus an additional brand of the wind, even though you'll still have name of the wind, specifically for the reason that the additional brand of the wind has a 90% chance to succeed, and it won't be covered under this steady hand 2. So careful synthesis 2 should be more than enough. And it'll still be under ingenuity 2 when you're using that careful synthesis 2. So obviously I high quality that, so let's go ahead and use the other one where it's an additional progress move. So execute that. And at the end of this, I'll explain why it doesn't matter if you get normal quality materials. If you're crafting something that's 80 durability, I'm going to show you pretty much how to guarantee high quality that. And as a result, it makes leave turn-ins and collectibles that much easier for you. Alright, so we're finished with the first one, and we're going to roll into the second one. This is the one that I'll have with Careful Synthesis 2. After this, I'll actually have to set up for showing you 80 durability. And that'll kind of give you a view of how things work with that. So 84%, you know, this is using pre-stormblood abilities. So I obviously could have high quality that with some of the newer abilities, but I wasn't concerned with that as much as showing you guys things. Alright, so now I'm going to explain 80 durability and why it didn't matter that you ended up with normal quality materials. So you'll get some less EXP for crafting normal quality versus high quality, obviously. But this is why. So with 80 durability items, I'm going to use all normal quality materials. I'm actually going to choose something at my level. So I've got the materials for this. I only have high quality Tamahagane ingots, so I'm just going to use one of those. So I apologize. Don't be confused by the fact that I've already got 3% high quality. I actually need to quit that real quick and grab some abilities. So for this, you're going to need to drop Manipulation, pick up Flawless Synth and Maker's Mark. And then you can choose to grab Reclaim if you're concerned about not completing something. It's no big deal there. Pick up Piece by Piece. That should be all that I need. Alright, so as you can see, you're going to need Careful Synth 2, Hasty Touch. Oh, that's what I didn't need. I didn't need Muscle Memory. So now I can pick up Reclaim if I want. So Careful Synth 2, Hasty Touch, Steady Hand 2, Piece by Piece, Waste Not 2, Innovation, Comfort Zone, Flawless Synth, and Maker's Mark. Obviously I'm on my Carpenter, so I already have Byrgot's Blessing, but if you don't have Byrgot's Blessing on that craft, then you'll need to pick it up. So this takes a little longer, but it's pretty much guaranteed to get you on that high quality train, right? What we're going to start doing is Maker's Mark. That gives me 30 free Flawless Synthesis. Comfort Zone, Steady Hand, 2 piece by pieces to get part of the way there, right? And then it's going to be followed by a ton of Flawless Synthesis. I actually made a macro to make it so I'm not pressing the button 20 million times. I am going to show you something that is kind of a cheat, though, in regards to this. Since I have so many Maker's Mark, how to get more CP out of it. So, what I'm going to actually do is by hand press Flawless Synthesis until I've used up my Comfort Zone. So, that's 4 more Flawless Synths that I need to do. And since I know I have 10 more steps at least, I'm going to pop another Comfort Zone. Then I'm going to do more Flawless Synthesis. This is a great way to get CP back. It's only 14 at a time, but it's still something than what you had. So, Comfort Zone costs 66 CP, but it gives you 80 back. It's just over the course of 10 steps. So, as you can see, finish that off, and boom. So, I've finished 2 Comfort Zones. I have 423 CP. I'm going to do one more, since it'll lead into other things. And then 7 of these. You don't want to go over, because then that'll start soaking up your durability. And keep in mind, flawless synthesis will fail. It's not a big deal. It's only 40 progress that you're not getting. Alright, so now that I've finished the first step, we're going to go ahead and move to phase 2. This is going to be your first quality phase. Now keep in mind, this one does require you being level 61 the way I've got it set up. The reason why I've got 2 hasty touch 2s in here is specifically because these won't be under steady hand 2. So they can fail or succeed. You do not need this. You can continue on with just normal hasty touch instead. But I highly recommend picking up the hasty touch 2 because, I mean, it's 10% increase on you succeeding. Alright, so I'm at 7 inner quiet stacks already, 13% high quality. This is specifically designed to work around the 80 durability though. Alright, so I've got one more comfort zone out of that, and then boom. Alright, so this is going to be my finishing move, right? I know, finisher, Mortal Kombat, everything. I've got 25 durability. That means I've got 3 steps available to me to finish this. One of them is going to be my quality finisher, and then I have one that's going to likely finish off this synth. If not, I have 2 available. Alright, so I've got this macro set up just to finish quality. And then I usually finish off the progress side by hand. For you guys, I'm going to, as you can see, I got 100% high quality because I had plenty of inner quiet stacks. For you guys, I'm going to use Careful Synthesis 2 to finish this, since that's going to be the most reliable ability for you guys. If you're really concerned about it, you can use other abilities, but almost every time I've been able to finish this with either 2 Careful Synthesis 2s or 1 Careful Synthesis 3 once you get that at level 62. And as you see, I high quality that. It may have seemed a little bit close. You can not use the comfort zones that I showed you earlier in your flawless synths, and it'll just give you more progress. Either way, it's not that big of a deal. Once you get to level 62, it'll become significantly easier with Careful Synthesis 3. You'll be able to use that instead. And this also will be a lot easier if you're using things like Seafood Stew or the Tempura Platter, because it'll give you more CP. That's all I got for you guys. That should be more than enough to get you guys going. If you are having issues with anything, just leave comments below. Or message me in game if you're on my server, or send me a message on YouTube. I don't care if you like and subscribe or any of that, but if you want more, feel free to give me some feedback, and if you have anything else, let me know. Thanks, guys.